Hey, girl.
Hey, I was thinking like maybe we should get a new theme song, but Charles has really enjoyed it in the background. So
I can work on it.
no, I know no one ever really danced to it but me. So I
I
just
dance to it.
do.
Yes.
I've never seen you dance to it in the background.
Charles has seen me
Oh,
maybe once or twice. See,
okay.
they can't see Charles, but he's in the background, guys. Hey, y'all.
Welcome everyone. This is ORNOT podcast where you get real talk with real sisters with a splash of Charles in charge today. No hot topics, but we will have hot topics when we get back. But, Charles might have a couple things that we might need to discuss that might be kind of hot.
Really? I didn't see the list.
I didn't see it either. I was just assuming that he might.
He's rubbing his hands together, so there must be something good coming.
Yeah.
How was your weekend?
Well, before we get into that introduction, I am, for those who've never watched, or listened, I am Tasha Mack, your favorite big sister, favorite personal trainer, favorite yoga instructor, all that good stuff. And who are you, little lady?
I am Danny. I am her little sister.
Your favorite little sister.
Oh, did y'all hear that? That was my stomach. It was like, boo.
Well, nobody heard it, but you.
Well, I just brought attention to it, so there's that.
Yeah, you do that often. I'd be like, nobody knew until you said something.
Let me tell you what my pastor said today about us.
About who?
Us, girl.
Me and you? Oh my God.
He was like, I enjoy watching y'all. When he watched the show with guests. He's like, your sister, she's more of the subdued version of you. He said, you're just like, da, da, da. I just told mom, and she's like,
It's kind of like the examples that we talked about yesterday.
What?
The Courtney and the Kim. No, the Chloe and the Kim.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is. Like Kim Kardashian is like,
let's tell the people. So, because that's what we do. We talk about stuff and we share it with you guys. So, do you want me to tell the story?
Please do. I'm blasting it to the world that we're on.
Okay, and then when you're telling about your weekend, I'll blast it on my side of the world. So we are Kardashian fans, and so we're watching the Kardashians.
But there's a reason why we're Kardashian fans.
Okay, so we're Kardashian fans for several reasons. One, because they are boss women. Two, they do love God, y'all, despite what y'all think. Three, they are a ride or die about their family. So their family dynamic is very... I think it's what's the word? I don't know what the word is. What's the word, Tasha? Is it goals?
I mean, I don't know. I think it's organic. I mean, I think it's just, they show realness. Like, but it's very similar to my mom, my sister, and myself. So their relationship with their mom, their relationship with each other is very similar to us. And if you know us personally, I'm not going to let you fail. And whether you like it or not, y'all may not like the Kardashians, but if you part of their crew, they don't fail. They don't be failing.
As much as sometimes my sister get on my nerves, I'm sure I get on her, but I'm not going to ever let her fail at anything. I will probably walk through fire before I let her fail. So anyway, the point was Kim... like, long story short, Kim had the little thing, the tape come up, and they were talking about it. And here go Chris, which in our case would be like mom, which I think she's watching. So mom's like, Chris mom. She's like, I really got to go, guys. They're in the closet. They're like, I really got to go. She's like, I got to go. Let me know if you need help, Kim, with picking out outfits. Because Kim is about to do SNL. So she's like, let me know if you need help picking out outfits. Here go Courtney. No, Chloe, which is me. Tasha is Kim. Kim's just like, okay, mom, thanks. Here go Chloe.
But Kim's not okay with it.
Yeah, she's probably not okay with it. So here go Chloe. What? You want to have her call you so you can help her pick out an outfit? She needs our moral support. I'll be back later if you need me. I'll be back. I'll just be right around the corner. That's me. I'm going to cut you off. I'm going to cut you up probably in little pieces because it's not right. And Tasha's just going to sit there and be like, I want to cut you up. And I'm going to sit here.
As Pasta said, as Pasta said, Pasta Sam, I am the subdued version of her. So, but at some point in my life, I felt like I was a cutter. I kind of cut people up with my words, preferably on family holidays. But with that, I've grown.
You're mature.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm more mature. I just I don't want to curse on Sundays, but I have no fucks given. I just did it. So I just don't care. So if my mom comes at me, I'm just like, I'm 40 years old.
She caring sometimes.
She be coming at me and I'm 40. She's been coming at me for 40 years.
I mean, she comes at everyone.
Why would I fuss about it though? That's what I'm saying. I'm like, why would I say?
Oh, well, they say pick and choose your battles. You pick and choose yours. I just pick all mine.
Every last one of them. But you're right. And you choose mine too. So it benefits me at times. But anyways, that was the conversation. Go ahead, I'm listening. Or am I up next? I don't have anything. I haven't really done anything this weekend spectacular, so I don't really have anything to share. I went to church this morning.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, so went to church this morning. I worked out for 3 hours. Yep, that's just about it.
Good.
How about you? How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. I didn't do nothing. Oh, I went to this little pour paint thing that friend put on. I didn't mean to say little. I went to a pour paint thing where they you pour paint. Black people always do that. We always talk about your little business, your little thing. Mm-hmm. So it was learn how to pour paint and make art. That was really cool. That was yesterday. And that was it. I went shopping a little bit. I got a couple of little graphic tees. And that was it. Yeah. So that's that.
Okay. All right. Well, tonight's episode is about toxic masculinity. So we will
maybe we can ask Charles to stay on.
If he wants. He may have something to do like the battlegrounds. Charles does have a previous, I don't even know if there is a battlegrounds tonight, but I just know that he has a previous commitment with him, and he does take time out for us to live through that commitment, and we appreciate that. But yeah, toxic masculinity. I think it caused a little buzz on my page when I posted.
It did. People wanted to text me about it, but they didn't want to be on the show.
Yeah, nobody said they want to be on the show. It caused some buzz and some conversation. So apparently people are interested, which is pretty dope. And it's something that you kind of brought. Oh, okay. See, there's 2 battles tonight. Thank you, Toya. Who's battling? So while you're at it, maybe I'll tune in. What was I going to say? Yeah, so a lot of people were interested, and so I think that's kind of dope. I did want to highlight today at church. Yeah, y'all always going to hear about what I did at church because it's what I did for today. But today at church, how long you were doing the whole Matthew study? We studied Matthew today. But anywho, Matthew 5:14 through 16.
You know why? I think because Matthew is long, y'all. Matthew is long.
Look at Charles. Charles like, yes.
Ooh, that Matthew would make you not want to pick up the Bible no more.
But the word for today was, "But is your light shining?" It was kind of talking about how people kind of judge. My church is called Church Redefined, so it's very different than the average church. My pastor wore Yeezys and a t-shirt today, and Dr. Keisha, his wife, had on some YSL pumps with a button up and some jeans, and they was chilling, and they are just chill, and they talk like I talk, and they talk like my friends talk, and they make me feel comfortable, and that's why I love it. But he was saying, how people judge you, and they're like, well, like let's say, for example, if you wore a hoodie to church every Sunday, and they're like, why would she wear that to church? But then the question is, but is your light
every day?
But is her light shining?
And it
Are
shine
you
bright.
are
Shine
you
bright like a diamond.
right? You are still doing what you're supposed to do, and you're living through your purpose. So I think that was a good word. But funny thing is, they didn't even preach at church today. We had a comedian.
What?
So
I don't know
yes,
if I can get with that, y'all.
we had a comedian, and to be honest, it was, and he preached the word. So like
Okay.
he's the one that brought forward the Matthew 5:14.
Wow.
And I had never seen it in that way, but it was
Me
actually
neither.
really, really funny. Oh, you wore your ORNOT podcast hoodie to church. What? Well, hello now.
Which one? Was it mine or was it Tasha's?
Or was it the one that, or was it Charles?
Or was it Charles? Or Marquita's?
Yeah.
It probably wasn't Marquita's. Not
And
for,
she
not
can
for
wear
sure.
rich, but is her light shining? She can wear rich folks.
Well, we're gonna find out soon.
Okay. We'll wait.
Okay.
No, we won't. So, anyways, that was my 2 cents.
That was really good though.
Yeah, it was.
It's important to it's not always about what this is. I got what time Charles got to come on?
7:15.
What 7:15?
Now.
Oh, I ain't gonna go. I ain't gonna preach to y'all then.
Okay.
I was gonna go there, but I'm not.
You want to go quickly, like a summary?
I don't think I can. Just let your light shine, like Tasha said it. Brianna said it. Everybody said it. Y'all. Matthew.
Apparently, Matthew. We apparently have scared Toya. She does not.
Toya, don't do that. I'm just joking, Toya.
We know what we're gonna do. We all in different states.
Come on, Toya.
So it's time to bring in the homie. It is Sensational Sunday, and it is Charles in Charge Sunday. So I'm just gonna drop him in. He needs a commercial by now. I feel like he needs.
I know. I'm sorry, Charles. I'm gonna get on that. You know what? Come on, bring him in while I talk about what I'm gonna do. I'm going to do better over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to have new content. I'm going to have Charles a commercial.
Talk to me.
I'm going to do better, and I'm still gonna shine bright like a diamond.
There you go. Look at that. Woo! And not only is it Sensational Sunday, we're gonna call this also Sangria Sunday. Let's go.
Ooh,
yeah.
I like that.
Sensational Sunday, aka Sangria Sunday. If you're feeling great today, because it's Sunday, I was listening to y'all in the backstage. We was talking about the Bible. Oh, I love it. I like the fact that you had a comedian there, because who says in the book that church can't be fun?
Right. That's true.
Who says there's no law that says you can't have fun while preaching God's word?
That's true.
There's no law for that. Paul's testimony alone is the second half of the Bible.
Yeah.
Are we
doing this today?
Woo! Come on, toast to it. Yes.
Well, what do we have here?
Actually, the man that spoke, the comedian, he said, he was like, back in the day, you never wanted, when you were young, you never wanted to invite your friends to church because you didn't even want to be there. So why I'm inviting my friends to church?
Well, not me. I wanted to be at church when I was young. So
it depends on your church.
Yeah. That's true.
If your church is not like, I don't mean no harm, Lord forgive me, but my family church, Lord forgive me for this. I ain't gonna say no names. I'm not gonna say no names, but my family's church when growing up.
Why not, Tasha? Just come on, say it. Metropolitan.
That's not right. Don't do that.
It's fine. It's just not for you. It wasn't for me either. I found my own church in high school and
you had a different look on church when Grove came through and everything, but
I was still young.
Yeah, you were, but I know Metropolitan, y'all, was like I was the youngest person in the whole building. Even my parents were too, if you know what I mean. Anywho, go ahead, Charles. Give us a word, baby. I'm sorry.
Oh no. When you're talking the word, everybody got to listen up. I'm sorry. That's just the way it goes. But you're right about the old school like church environment. Got that one young person that's singing "Oh Happy Day."
Yeah.
When Jesus watched. Oh, happy day.
Hey.
When Jesus washed. Let me go. I'm having a sister act moment.
When
Let me.
Jesus washed, when Jesus washed, when
Well, I know
Jesus
one
washed,
thing.
wash my tears away. Oh,
Listen,
Wait.
that goes into the Charles in Charge segment so perfectly because
perfect.
some of these folks need to be washed. The
Ooh.
stuff that we've been seeing, yes, we need to talk about it on Sangria Sunday. First of all, we're going to talk about the baby bad beep. I'm beeping myself because I don't want to call him the bad, you know what, because it's Sunday, Sangria style. So the baby pretty much is laying hands, and I'm not talking about praying hands, on his own artist, the baby.
Oh, I saw that.
You saw that, right? And those weren't praying hands. Those were knuckle sandwiches that he was giving out to his own artist. I'm like, and I'm looking at this. I'm like, okay, what could he have said that was so bad? Is that how you doing your artists? They want out the contract and saying my office hours are from 9 to 5. You're giving them knuckle sandwich in front of company. That's dangerous. I'm like, my goodness. I'm like, who's gonna want to sign to the baby after that? If you say, hey, I got problems with my contract, like, we can handle it right now, and then you just squaring off on them. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
You know, that's why I say since it's Sangria Sunday and we said when Jesus washed and no happy day, let's put some praying hands on that young brother right there because he gonna need it.
Yeah,
Can we put some praying hands on Mike Tyson?
I'm gonna get to him too.
Because he did something similar. I mean,
he did.
Hands was flying this past week. It was the week of flying hands.
Tell Danielle what Mike did.
So Mike Tyson was on a flight, and you had this weird, I'm just gonna call him weird. He was excited to see Mike Tyson, right? And he was just like, oh my God, it's Mike Tyson. But he kept bothering Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was sitting in his seat, minding his business, getting ready to take off for the flight to relax. He's poking the bear. He's touching Mike. He's talking. He's just constantly annoying Mike. Yes, this is on TMZ live, right? So I'm like, this ain't gonna end well. I'm screaming at the screen, like, no, leave him alone. Don't do it. Because you know how Mike can get.
Yeah.
So next thing you know, Mike had enough. Yeah, he had enough, and the hands went flying. And the after effect was the young man learned a bloody lesson, not too badly bloody, but he was knotted up a little bit. And he's knotted up a little bit. And now he's trying, of course, the after effect. I'm gonna sue Mike Tyson. So
I mean, he kind of
that's coming.
Oh my God. He gotta learn how to control himself. We gotta
put the praying hands on folks.
Praying hands.
Praying hands. No, he is. That's what I'm saying. Putting praying hands. That's why I said we need these praying hands. We need these praying hands on not only the baby and Mike Tyson. We need to put some praying hands on Black China. Because she done rolled up on the wrong family for what she been doing.
Damn.
Okay. Yes, we got to talk about this. You know, the Kardashians, the Kardashian name is in danger, and she tried to put his name. She tried to put that name in danger before. Talk about Rob is abusive and controlling and manipulating, putting all that out there, trying to sue him, and come to find out he's got proof that you've been the abusive one, pulling a gun on him and saying that it was a joke. A joke.
Natasha? I didn't tell you that part. I didn't give you all that part yesterday.
No, you didn't.
Yes. She pulled out the gun. That's crazy. And put the gun to Rob. If he was really that abusive and doing everything, why not put out, since it's Sangria Sunday, praying hands, why don't you put out the Bible, sit next to him, put them praying hands together? Rob, you need this. Show love. This is what we doing today.
It's bad.
Yeah. So
I feel bad for him. I told Danielle about this. What you been?
I keep tapping on this. Some people are on my page watching it, but they need to come over here. If you're on my page watching it, please come over here so that I can see the comments.
I don't even know if there's people in my comments. I don't look. So if they are, I'm sorry.
Well, if you're watching this, come on over.
Yeah,
come on over,
please. But what was I going to say? I feel bad for Rob because me and my sister were talking about it. If you're part of a family, you have more.
Yes.
You have siblings. You're that sibling. You're the sibling that everybody like. Dang, what you done got us into now? Now we got to go to church.
Yeah.
Now we got to go to court.
Yep.
I'm usually that. Would you say I'm that sibling?
No.
Yeah, then he's gonna be that sibling that's gonna be talked about at the barbecue for a long time.
Yeah, like think about it. He's the sibling you get the text message from, like, oh, Lord,
Rob and his friend is coming to the barbecue. When they say friend, that ain't a good thing.
Yes.
Rob and his friend is here, so you know how it can be. So
you'd be like, you want to come downstairs? Not if she gonna be downstairs.
Yeah. Make sure that plate is to go and wrapped up in good Reynolds wrap and aluminum foil.
Turn the music off so she won't think we about to continue.
Yeah.
It's that situation. So I feel kind of bad for him because this is like the saga that never ends.
Yeah. Well, Rob's been a punching bag for a while, I believe, and not physically, but more so verbally, seems like. And now, right, Rob, why you got this girl in the family?
That's
he's getting those talk. Chrissy ain't having it. She's like, Rob, over here now. She probably gave him the death stare, like, over here.
Well, that's probably
now.
why they canceled the show.
Talk.
That's they didn't have a season 2.
Yeah, because Chrissy had to clean up some mess.
Not Chrissy.
No, I'm talking about with Rob. Listen,
the nickname for me.
Chrissy had to clean up. Okay.
Yeah.
Chrissy don't play. You messing around with the Kardashian name, aka Cash Cow. You can't be out here messing up the good name. So now we got to clean up Chrissy and the crew.
Well, I personally think Chrissy kind of started this.
Why?
Because this is what happened. We talked about this. So somebody hooked Rob up with her. I'm not sure why. I don't know whose idea it was. It was at some party or something. She happened to slither her way in there. And so therefore they hooked her up. So as the mom was not really okay with it, she most likely said in her head, this is a relationship that is probably going to make us some money. So, let's give them a show. Yeah. Show turned into a baby. Oh, now we got a baby. So, I mean, I think she low key was like, okay, because like Danielle said, what's the name? Arthur George Socks. I mean, we don't really know how well that's doing right now.
Yeah.
So, socks also, I have a couple pair. You bought me a pair and I bought myself a pair. And the socks were really tight. And that was when my legs were skinny.
So you feel like they were cutting off your circulation?
Oh, they were cutting them up, baby. I mean, I couldn't. I had tried to roll them things down. I tried to put them under my heel one time. It was cute for a picture. Because, on the bottom, it's like, it says, on the bottom of the foot, it says something.
She slithered in.
She did. She was like this. And that she slithered in. It was some party that somebody was drunk, and
she was Kim's friend.
Yeah, that's right. She was. They used to work out together. It's like I said, she slithered in. Yeah, doing.
But here's the thing, right? Here's why I call Chrissy Clean Up Chrissy, because she has a knack for situations that may look crazy and turning them into gold. Let's start with Bad Press Bruce Jenner.
You just got all the names today.
Yes, Bad Press Bruce. Because everybody was like, oh my God, Bruce done changed over and everything else. He was on the Wheatie box and now he's this. And everybody was all in the uproar. Chrissy said, don't worry, boo, I got it. I'm going to get you situated. I know you were my husband. That's okay. We're going to get this cleaned up, okay? She turned Bad Press Bruce into a superstar.
She did.
Yes, she did. And then,
she's good at what she does. You cannot deny it. She's good at what she does. And I don't understand why the media doesn't twist it and say that the Kardashians are like too nice. They should say they're too nice, because the stuff that they go through is like, what?
Yes,
like
she
the
is.
whole Lamar thing? What?
Let's take it back even more. Then we had crumbling Kim Kardashian, and she was crumbling under the weight of Rip 'em Up Ray J. because Ray J was out there just acting up. Hey, we gotta go through the timeline here now.
Rip him up.
Rip him up, Ray J. Right? Ray J was out here ripping up her career because he put that tape out there. We know he did it. We not fooling. Yeah, we know he did it.
And now he has these headphones that apparently like never got or something.
Yeah, Raycons.
Raycons.
Yeah, the Raycons.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah. I know someone that owns a pair. I was like, you purchased them?
Put that in the private chat.
Shout out to Raycon. I mean, they look like the gas station headphones, but I ain't hating. You know,
are they gas station headphones?
It reminds me of them, but I mean, some people say they're amazing.
Some people say they're amazing. I heard they're really good. I mean, we're not promoting no Raycons. First of all, but I'm just saying, like, if you think about it, it truly is like they're. I don't want to say they're slow, but it's like the Kardashians, they just keep getting hit every time with this mess. So instead of thinking that they're like money hungry, all these leeches, like, why aren't y'all thinking like, Lord, y'all need boundaries,
right? You need
to like reevaluate your friendships and your relationships.
Yeah.
I would rather have that conversation with a Kardashian versus like, why you keep taking black men? I mean, the ones that they taking, y'all, we don't want them. So I don't mean no harm. Like, I don't think none of us want Tristan.
Lamar.
Or Lamar got
caught in the Kanye.
If you want Kanye West, that's why Kanye West was with a white woman right now. That's why he went back with a white woman. I'm sorry. Because what black woman? We don't want him. No black woman is going to take him right now. At this point, think about it. At this point, Kanye wants to move across the street from his ex-wife. What black woman is going to date Kanye West for a long period of time that don't have to do with, you know what I mean? Like,
it's true. It's a lot to deal with, you know. And all Kim got to do, you know, she got that PR eye now. So all she got to do is give that certain look to the camera that's making them fall by the wayside in the beginning.
I just couldn't wait.
Yep, third trimester Tristan. There you go. That's right.
Taylor, Taylor doesn't come often, but she came today.
When she comes through though.
And that was good.
That was a whole work. Charles got everybody going. Whatever else you got, y'all bring them on.
Hey, we got Chloe, aka Miss Claiming them. I'm sorry. We got
Chloe gets it worse. I mean, like, it really
she does.
Bad, y'all.
She's so sweet.
That's what I'm saying. I think people should change the narrative because the narrative is wrong. Like, oh, these money hungry people taking our men. Y'all don't want them.
And poor Kylie, she has a predator on her hands with Tyga. No comment. What? Tyga too old for that lady. Too old for that girl.
Oh yeah, that was.
That's why I call Tyga a predator.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm watching. I'm like, oh, okay. This what we doing, Tyga.
and then look, it's just really sad because look, they changed their child's name.
Yeah,
right.
She haven't named her child, and she changed it. They changed it a day later or something.
Yeah,
but
they
why?
had to.
I don't know. We don't. It could have been, you know, because of what happened. Because people were talking about what they thought it was. I mean, but you know, and we should just change the narrative. That's all I'm saying.
We got to do better. Now,
going on a tangent.
I'm sorry, but I had to get that. We're gonna lay praying hands on all these folks. You know, looks like Lamar's doing better now after he's gotten treatment.
But Lamar's on national TV talking about he wished Chloe would take him back.
I told you, Chloe claim him. And then you got listen.
But that just means that they're a good family, that they, like Danielle said, they love God, and they you know what I'm saying, they take their time, and they're a good family, so they've taken these people in, and these people were already damaged before they came in.
They were.
Listen, can we be honest? I know it's Sunday, but the only reason they missing these folks because they making them say God. I done said too much.
Stop it.
That's it. Let me behave myself. That's why Lamar coming back.
That's why Charles' charge is over.
That's it. That's it.
Charles, was that all for you tonight?
All for you tonight, Charles.
That's all for me.
Okay.
Well, Charles, we thank you.
Yes.
We thank you. We hope you have a great week.
Woo! I'm feeling blessed over here.
And tune in to Charles. You tune into the comments. Stay in the comments.
Oh, I definitely will.
Do you want? If you want to come back in, you can come back in.
Yeah.
Got you.
Okay.
I'm gonna check on the little one.
Okay.
Later.
All right. Bye. Whew, that was good, y'all.
That's good.
All right, so we are talking about toxic masculinity. My sister led this topic because she brought it into my life, and I was like, "Well, what about it?" But I think it might be worth the talking about. So tell us what you believe or what toxic masculinity is.
Okay, so so first let's start with like what is toxic masculinity. I'm gonna say what my interpretation is, and then I'll give you like a more concrete answer. So toxic masculinity to me is basically saying that men or boys, men or boys have to act a certain way. So a good example that I gave Tasha was if a boy falls and stumbles and hurts his leg, you're like, he starts crying, you're like, no, don't cry. Boys don't cry. Don't be a girl about it. You're being a girl. You know what I mean? And that's toxic masculinity. That's saying that masculinity, like you have to be masculine because you're a boy. Yeah. So if we look at, I don't know where this is from, but it's on the website. So it's traits of toxic or unhealthy masculinity include unconditional physical toughness, physical aggression, fear of emotions, discrimination against people that aren't heterosexual, hyper independence, sexual aggression or violence, and anti-feminist behavior. And that's something that I didn't know. I didn't think of that last part when it says anti-feminist behavior. So that basically means they are not for women being independent, being, having a voice, like overly like you're just overly masculine for no reason, basically. And you're like you cannot stand, for example, like some men will be like, I can't stand gay people. Why is that offend you?
Affect you?
Yeah, like I'm not offended because that ain't my life. That's let them
like
live overly. Like you're just like, that man is just so feminine. Like, why does that have? That's projecting one. And so I thought it was a good conversation because I think that it's a conversation that isn't had much. I think that anytime that I put it on Facebook and Instagram and no one says anything about it, that means it's a conversation that needs to be talked about. So I had several people come in my comments and in my text messages to send me messages about their thoughts, but they weren't able to come on the show today.
Well, I find it funny because I did mention toxic masculinity on my page, and I'm looking for it now. I think I just found it. I mentioned it on my Facebook page, and there were men that mentioned it, but they didn't really agree with it. All the women said yes. I said, is it a thing? Toxic masculinity, is it a thing? And so all the women said yes. All men weren't as favorable. And I think that's funny that the men aren't as favorable of it. But I think that it also I think it might be cultural.
Well, we can only speak for one culture, so.
Well, I think from a Black man standpoint, I'm not a Black man, but I know Black men. I can imagine that they play that masculinity thing very hard, and it is very toxic. So you tell your child, like, don't cry, your boys specifically. For example, you gave a great example. The whole, was it Shaq? It was someone that you said.
Yeah, so Shaq said that his sons would have to move out at the age of 18, but his girls can stay there until they're married.
Right.
First of all, I mean, I think that I think that happens a lot just in regards to having a girl and boys when you're a parent. How you treat your daughter is not how you treat your son. You allow your son to sleep with many women. You don't allow
Mhm.
your daughter to sleep with many men.
It's okay.
Four women in this time of
If
day.
your son sleeps with many, from a man's standpoint, if your son sleeps with many women, it's like, yeah, you're getting your card. You're getting your guy card. If your daughter is sleeping with tons of little boys, she's automatically labeled fast.
She's a hoe.
A thought. There's so many names for it, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's out in the open. That's very toxic. And what does that do for the women?
Well, so what do you mean?
So we're affected by that heavily. So the toxic masculinity is then toxic to us, and we're impacted in the negative way. So unfortunately, the man is who's spitting it out, but we're also affected very heavily. Does that make sense?
It does, but I would like to challenge you and say this. Women also tend to say that.
Play into it.
Yeah, when you're married, I don't necessarily believe in this but I'm not married, so I think that says something too. If I ever get married, I will never follow the lead of my husband based off of his beliefs when it comes to certain things. If my child falls and you tell me that I should not tell my son that it's okay for him to cry, it does hurt. And I want him to process through his emotions. And you're like, no, you should say he shouldn't cry because he's a man. Some women don't do that. Some women will be like, yeah, you should not be crying. You're acting like a girl. Women do it too.
Yeah, women do it too.
And that, I think that speaks even, for me, I feel like it speaks even greater volume when a woman says to a young boy or a man that you shouldn't be emotional, you shouldn't have any type of feelings, you shouldn't be hurt, you shouldn't ever hurt or have any type of pain. That it speaks greater volume when it comes from a woman, because women birth that child. One, our perspective holds so much. I feel like it holds a lot of weight when it comes to when it comes to children and their developmental stage. So I think that women are just as trifling as men when it comes down to saying that little boys shouldn't cry. They shouldn't be, I don't want to say feminine. I just think that it's a thing of just saying, so Taylor says, I think women can perpetuate to children and then get mad when the man they date isn't in touch with his emotions, which is what I think where Tasha was leading.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very true. Like, what? I don't know.
Well, I can. It's a result. So let me tell you, because I have dated several men who I have different type of men. I've dated the man who is very in touch with his emotions, and he got on my nerves. And then I dated a man who didn't have no emotions, and that got on my nerves. But I think the problem was in both of those, they didn't know how to process their emotions. Just because you have a bunch of emotions does not make that bad. The fact that you have no emotions, that doesn't make it bad either. The problem for me is that you don't know how to process those emotions. You're not able to articulate the emotions that you're having. That's where my issue comes in. It's not that you're unemotional or that you're emotional. I don't like when people say men are emotional, because I think oftentimes people say I'm emotional. It's not that I'm emotional. I'm decisive. I know exactly what I feel. And I think that causes a problem.
So do you think that the word emotional even exists?
It is. It does.
I think it's a word to use to describe someone, or you don't think so?
I think that you can be emotionally unhealthy.
Okay.
Because so I am emotional.
You think emotionally unhealthy. Oh, so when I say someone is emotional, they're truly emotionally unhealthy. That's what you're saying.
I think, based off of conversations that we may have had, I think that that's what it is. It's because they don't truly know how to process their emotions and articulate it in a way that you're able to resonate with.
I understand that.
Yeah, so I think that it's just that they're unhealthy. Like, it's unhealthy.
I find that men often say that women are emotional first. And actuality, the man is the one that's emotionally unhealthy. I find that that's a projecting type of thing. When a man says, you are so emotional. Well, who's the emotional one? Who's emotionally unhealthy, let's say? It's more along the lines of the person who is being aggressive, the person who is bothered, things in that nature. You know what I mean? I'm trying to say things without saying
No, I get it. So but
yeah.
basically I think that the thing is, I think the more the conversation really is that women know how to articulate.
We know how to process and articulate it.
Yeah, you know how to articulate. I know how to exactly tell you how I feel. You can't possibly tell me how you feel. And then if you try, it's not right.
But going back to what Anita's saying, when men are in touch with their emotions, when they're not in touch with their emotions, because they were probably ones that were told, don't cry, you are a
Yes,
man.
Anita, that is absolutely right.
And that ties right into
monsters.
that.
Yes.
So that goes back to the beginning where dad said, do not cry, you don't tell anyone how you feel about them.
Yeah.
That's not what men do. So then I'm over here, fast forward 20 years later, you got a wife or a girlfriend. And I'm like, I'm just not feeling good about this. I don't like the way you speak to me. In return, they process it as you're emotional.
Yeah, because I've never had the opportunity to be in that space that you're in. So that's why I think it's important. It's an important conversation to have. Even I know maybe some of us on here have not had kids. I haven't had a child yet. If I ever have a son, that will be something that I would be very cautious and careful when projecting the fact of being a strong Black man.
Going into Andre's note, he agrees with Anita. Parents raising young Black men should caution their parenting skills and allow boys to express emotion. It's healthy expression of emotion. It is. You got to talk, y'all.
But the thing is, but if you think about it, this goes into parenting, I think, and this is something that I really shouldn't speak on because I haven't parented nobody's child. I don't have any. But how I would prefer to be parented, or how I would have preferred. I think I did have the opportunity with my mom. So I'll say this. My mom, our mom, but for me, I can only speak for me because Shasha often says we were raised differently. So for me, I had the opportunity to express how I felt about things. She was very open and willing to listen. But I cannot say that is the same for my father. So he is a very much, I don't really care what you got to say. I'm going to shut down, period, point blank. That was not the best for me because I am the kind of person who needs to express how I'm feeling, not just for the person, but for really from how I'm processing how I'm feeling and how I'm getting out there. So then when I grow up to be a grown woman, I need that kind of, I know that's where I grow. That's where I excel. It's like where I flourish in is a relationship that allows me to express myself. Not the kind of relationship that's like, I don't need you to say this. That's not how you feel. You being emotional, But if you aren't raised and neither of your parents provided that space for you, then you don't know what to do with it when someone comes to you, one, and asks, how do you feel about it? Or why don't you have anything to say about me feeling like this?
I agree.
So it's like for parents, what do you say when you're a parent, Tasha? How do you, because I can't speak to this. Is there like, for me, I'm always like, oh, he's just expressing himself. Don't I say that all the time? I'm like, he's just expressing himself.
I think as a parent, it's a thin line.
He's doing a great job. And you're like, no, Neil, he's not.
Yeah. As a parent, there's a thin line. You can express yourself and express your feelings, but you can't talk to me like I'm your friend. So because I'm not your friend, I'm your parent. So there's a level of respect that has to go there. I think that I'm raising my child in a different world than I was raised in. And I do say that we were raised differently because our mother was a housewife when I was being raised, in the thick of development, I will say. And you were being raised when she was thriving and trying to thrive and trying to find her voice and she was in college and she was working, and we got a different piece of her. That's all. And so I say that because, you're in a different time in your life, different times. Like my son has gotten me as a wife, a working mom, and now a single mom. You get what I'm saying? So he has gotten all different pieces of me, which is a good thing. So he's able to see these different things, and it does help in the cultural thick of it. It helps because he sees me meditate. He sees me process my emotions. He sees me go to therapy. He sees me talk about things that need to be discussed. I go to him and say, how do you feel about me doing this? How do you feel about me and your father? These are conversations that I bring to him, but these are not conversations that were considered acceptable 20 years ago. These are not conversations. I don't think that the average Black family sat down and talked about separation, divorce. I'm just throwing stuff out of here. Homosexuality. You get what I'm saying? Mental health. The average Black family, you probably have uncles and cousins that were legit like talked crazy, and they might not have stayed at their house with their family. They stayed at another facility that we don't know. It looked like a hospital, but it won't. It really was a crazy home or a mental health facility, excuse me. And from there, we didn't know that, right? As the Black family, that's not what was told. I can only speak from the Black culture, but that's not what we were told. We were told that's your uncle. He'd be a little off. That's it. Now it's different. If you have a family member, they're in a mental health facility, they have bipolar or high level of anxiety, and they're on meds, 9 times out of 10, the teenage boy or teenage girl, they know. These conversations are being had. So I applaud our society where we are now, because it is different. But here's the caveat that messes things up. People in our generation, your generation, my generation, we're very close in age, and we're messed up, because you got the boys, the men that are raised by the people 20, 30 years ago that didn't believe in any of that I just said. So now what? Those same people are raising your kids. You gotta
break the cycle.
Yep, it's those same people are raising your kids. So if you don't have a mom like me or Danielle that sits down and says, listen, this is what it is, and you have a dad that you listen to primarily, the dad says, don't cry, don't worry about therapy, you'll get over it. So what that your mind races? So what that you don't feel right? That's not anxiety. That's not depression. You don't like boys. It's not okay. All these things is toxic, and then they're going to have children, and then the cycle continues. And that's how the cycle continues. So as a parent, it was your initial question. As a parent, all I can say is, I mean, I'm hoping that I'm doing okay. You know what I mean? But all I can do is be expressive myself to him. But I have a very open relationship with my son. So I feel that he's going to be okay, but it's so sad because I'm pretty sure there's not members, but there's families that don't have that.
Yeah.
All right. I feel that raising young men, we have to allow them to express how they feel, because there's so much mental health and depression out here this day and time.
That's true. So I wanted to go over really quick, top 10 toxic masculinity behaviors, because I think it's important to recognize them as well. We can tap into that question in just a second. This won't be long. The one is being stoic. So men constantly giving the message that they must be self-reliant, independent, or physically tough. Being promiscuous is another one. Championing heterosexuality as an unalterable norm. Being violent. Being dominant.
I'm looking at the same list.
Huh?
I'm looking at the same list. Yeah, go ahead.
Sexual aggression towards women, not displaying emotion, which I think is the one that we tapped on mostly in this conversation, but there's so many more. Not being a feminist ally, risk taking, so connected to male dominance, like toxic masculinity encourages taking risks to discriminate dominance. Oh, I've seen somebody do that. Men who buy into this are more likely to take extreme measures, such as perpetrate violence, drive dangerously, gamble, abuse, drugs. Oh my goodness. Not engaging in household chores and caregiving. So these aren't just, it's not just about being like, oh, emotional things.
I was going to say that kind of ties into that whole, what mom just said, that strong Black women can be seen as a threat. So a man that's toxic with toxic masculinity, he don't want to see no strong Black woman.
They can't stand it. They cannot stand it because they feel like they're not needed. What am I needed here for?
Exactly. But then you go along the lines, I agree with this too. I absolutely do not agree with coddling boys or men, nor do I agree with women that emasculate men in an attempt for them to show emotion. It causes a man to lose respect for their woman. So that's a good way to look at it too, because the woman is then emasculating the men. So then the man doesn't.
In what way? How are they emasculating the man?
Andrea, can you give us some examples? Give us some examples.
So let's first break down what emasculate means, which is to deprive a man of his male role or identity. His male role you cannot deprive a man of their male role or identity by saying they shouldn't be emotional.
But I think you can deprive them slightly.
By what way? I'm gonna need an example.
I'm trying to think of a way. Like I have a way, but I don't want it to come out wrong.
Just say it, girl.
So there are times in which a woman can make a man feel less of a man. So you have to allow a man to be a man sometimes.
Okay, so I'm going to need an example.
For example, I'm trying to think of an example. And I mean,
is it taking out the trash?
No, everyone can take out the trash. But like, if, for example, I'm trying to think, this could be generational, so be careful with this one. But like, for example, let's say taking out the trash, okay? We'll just use taking out the trash as an example. I'm not saying this is what it is, but if you personally feel that taking out the trash should be something that a man does, and you do it yourself, and you have a man living in your house, and you're like, no, that's what I do. Or no, I changed my own tires. I changed my own. I don't need you to do anything. I just need you to be here to rub my back. Like, you do need to allow a man to be a man, whatever your definition of a man is. I don't know. Income differential, that's a whole nother ball game. But I mean, it isn't. But it's true. Like, this falls into what you believe a man is. Like, I have my own definition of what a man is. What you have, your definition of a man might be different.
Okay. Andre gave us an example. Arguments with vicious name calling, physical violence, as some women feel that can hit but won't get hit, comparing them to others to be better.
I agree with that. So, for example, I have a friend who is in a relationship, and his girlfriend, she says a lot of things like, you're not a man. You're always crying and whining. You're always wanting to discuss things. You're always spending time with your mother.
Is that not toxic masculinity?
What do you mean? No, that's
toxic masculinity, though.
That's the woman talking to the man.
I know, but that's still she's protecting toxic masculinity.
So I think that's what he meant by emasculating the man, by like trying to downgrade the man and not treat him like the man that he's actually is or trying to be. And so, matter of fact, I know someone specifically, they struggle with their manliness, whether or not they make enough money, whether or not they would be a good husband or a boyfriend, based off of something that their past relationship and the negative words. And she used to hit him and he didn't hit back because she was a woman. So I can understand that. What you got?
I understand what he's saying, but I just think that is also, I think that it's in addition to that is like the woman playing the role in the toxic
absolutely
masculinity. I do understand what he's saying by women emasculating a man. I don't necessarily consider that emasculation. I think that's just disrespect. Because if a man was to do the same thing to a woman, what is that called? It's not feminist. I mean, like, what is it? Well, you know what I'm saying? It's just disrespect. So, like, nobody should be calling anyone out of their name. No one should be saying that they are not good enough.
Right.
Huh?
It's a level of, you're right, it's disrespect.
It's just respect when it comes to that.
I think everybody needs to play their part in this toxic masculinity.
It needs to be a healthy balance.
I think that everybody needs to understand that people are different, and that some people need more emotion than other. You know, some people, downgrade is a perfect word. Some people need more emotion than other. Like you said, you need a different level of emotion. You need to know, you want to talk about it. You want to know what's going on. Charles mentioned it further up. Men, you ask a man, are you okay? They say yes, they say no. You ask a woman, are they okay? It's different. Yeah. It's just different. And a man may not want to say, no, I'm not okay, because they may feel like that's downgrading their masculinity.
Well, also because they've been told to just say they fine. You just supposed to go about your business, do what you're supposed to do. So Anita says, even if a man makes less than a woman, he can still provide for his family. He can fix things around the house. He can make dinner. The roles may have to change. I agree.
I completely agree.
And toxic, if a young boy is taught toxic masculinity, in his mindset, he has a problem with gender roles, I think. Mm-hmm. The idea is that even if I make less, I still want you, the breadwinner, to cook dinner. I still want you to be a size 6.
I don't have to cook dinner because I'm a man.
I want you to make sure you teach our kids how to read and write and how to do multiplication. But I also want to make sure that you come home, look nice for me, and make my plate and iron my clothes. That's toxic. That's like toxic masculinity traits.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
that's a very bad. I would like to personally say that's a very bad trait. And I think that that's a heavy trait that men don't care what the woman got going on. You can have 4-5 jobs. You can make more money than them. You could have a higher in terms of priority level in the household. Things have changed now. And so, but the man still expects you to take care of the children. Most men, or some men, I don't know. Men, you can definitely speak on this, but men expect a lot from a woman, and it's not even. So it's a man. They don't have to do half of the things that a woman does.
They really just gotta not be emotional. That's all they have been told to not do. Do not be emotional.
Woman, are you a wife or a girlfriend if you don't cook, or if you don't clean, or if you don't take care of me? Are you a good woman?
It's a red flag as a single person. It's a red flag for me when a guy, every time he comes out his mouth, it's about what women can't do right. That also is toxic masculinity. Mm-hmm. If it's like, well, it's the girls, it's the woman's problem because they don't want to do this, this, and this. That's toxic. That's masculinity.
Yeah, that's like that whole Kevin Samuels thing.
Yes, like Kevin Samuels
embodies toxic masculinity. I'll never forget. I saw him on a show, and then we got to wrap up. But I saw him on a show, one of his shows.
This is a really good show.
The girl was talking about like, yeah. No, that's right.
That's our mama, y'all.
Please change the tire. Kevin Samuels was talking about, or a woman came on his show, and basically she was like, I can't find a man. I want a man that has this, and that. I personally think that's a problem. Personally, I think all the lists and stuff.
Let's have the next show about that.
Yeah, that don't work. If you my friend, back in the day, we used to have like lists.
And y'all. Tasha had a list, y'all. I ain't have no list, but look where they got me.
I mean, it did give me a whole, got me a nice little life, but I mean, it ain't. Look around my house.
It's sustainable.
The list just ain't all there. Y'all ain't about the list no more. So, long story short, the girl had her list or whatever. So she lived with her mom and she had a couple kids. And so he was like, so where are the baby daddies? And she was like, well, I'm not with them anymore. And he was like, what does your mom do?
Oh, I think I saw that show.
And he said, well, see, does your mom have a man? See, your mom doesn't have a man, so you don't have anybody to show you how to be a good woman.
Yeah.
What?
We would have had to fight.
What world are we living in that that's still okay?
Well, first of all, she shouldn't have been out there.
Huh?
At this
point, anybody that go up there It's like you going up there get yourself shot down. I would never comment. I would never go on Kevin Samuels because the idea is to shoot us down. And I've heard this from many people. Well, he talks bad to the men too. Okay, well, for some reason, I never catch those episodes. I always catch the episode where he's shooting a woman down. And yes, women, we do kind of put ourselves out there. We create lists. I'm not sure why. We create lists.
I think it's generational.
Yeah, and then we look for a man with lots of money. Guess what? You can have a man with lots of money. He ain't gonna hold you tight at night.
You can just make all the money.
Oh, I'm saying looking for a man with lots of money, I'm going to teach you something. He's not going to hold you tight at night. He's not going to kiss your forehead. He may not change your tire. He may not cut your grass. These are all the things that the man with lots of money might not do that you was part of your list, but money was top of the list. So you got to be careful with that. You got to figure out what you want. The real question is, does he enjoy family? Does he have a good relationship with his mother?
Tasha, I think that has to do. That's just about your priorities. Maybe some people ain't looking for family. Maybe they're looking for their bill to be paid.
Well, this is what the show is about. I mean, the show is me teaching others.
I know. I'm saying, but some people, that's your priority. That's what your priorities are now.
Yeah, I mean, you grow into it.
What I'm saying is, some people make like a 25-year-old girl. She just might be looking for somebody to pay her bills.
I know, but she also may have not had anyone to tell her, like, girl, he might pay your bills, but it might be some other stuff that he can't do that just ain't gonna be something you want to deal with. You know, and we don't speak life into each other. We don't educate each other well enough. And we need to, as women, specifically as Black women of all colors. When you meet a man and he asks if you can cook, sir, can you build a house?
Hello, this is it. That's me. I'm asking the same thing.
No, so Anita's up here. Anita will tell you a big thing for her is the man asks her, what did you cook tonight? It grinds Anita's gears.
I think it grinds her gears because, like I always say, men are always like, and I think this is still toxic. Men are always like, well, women say this too. Women, I will say this. I'll speak from this point. A lot of women are like, well, what do you bring to the table? And they want to know what do women bring to the, like, women want to know what they bring to the table. Men want to know what women bring to the table. Some of y'all need to just bring the table. Come together. Bring your table. I'm going to bring my table.
Well, that's why I don't get why men aren't okay with joining tables and just grinding and thriving together. Why does that?
But some women are like that too, Tasha. Some women want a man to sit there and take care of them and not do anything. Let's be real. Some women are like, I need a man who got good credit. He got a house. He got a dog. He got 3 cars, stock. He got Bitcoin. He got his own business. And he working 9 to 5. But you work
nowhere.
Or nowhere. You are collecting a check. Or you're not doing anything.
I think we can look at all sides of the coins. You know, I think that men have a tendency to really want a supportive woman, but in the same breath are use that supportive man. I challenge all the men that are watching, if you have a friend or girlfriend, someone you're interested in, and she has a business.
A lot of y'all up here. Hold on. It's a lot of y'all up here. We have some frequent flyers right now, and some of y'all ain't saying nothing. It's just Anita, Taylor, Latoya, and Andre. Where the rest of y'all at?
So if you are someone that is pursuing anyone on this panel, support is key. Because if you want me to support you,
pursuing us,
I'm just saying I'm just giving an example, right? Support is key. If you want me to support you, you have to support me. We talked about this before. Subscribe.
Yeah.
Subscribe to my channel. Turn on your notifications.
You know what? That was a good thing for me. One time a guy would not watch my podcast. And that burned me up, y'all.
I told Andre today. I said, Andre, we have 7 seasons. And yes, I know Andre very well. Andre has known me before I was a mama. Yeah.
Andre, where you at?
Andre actually lives out of state. He'll tell you where he's been, but he's a very good friend of mine. Yeah, very good friend of mine.
So
But
that does burn me up. That when if I tell a guy I have a podcast and they're like, "Oh, that's nice word."
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, why haven't you checked on my podcast? Are you
Taylor, Taylor, this is becoming a single show. Okay, y'all. Taylor is single.
She's a she's a pretty smile. She's educated.
Look at her. She's gorgeous.
She's gorgeous.
Her hair's
guys.
pretty.
Contact us for information.
Pretty young thing. Please.
We will be asking, but unfortunately, we will be asking you a series of questions before we release information. Thank you. Yeah, so I just feel like the support. Just try it, guys. Just saying. You might actually get a more interactive relationship if you're more supportive. It goes both ways.
Because I had a guy who would watch all my shows. He was going hard too. I was about to fall in love. I may have been.
Anita's single too. She's very pretty. Her face is all made up.
Anita's single too.
Yes, she's a great
She
job.
is hilarious. And she has the sweetest heart. We have an array of ages up here. We have an array of ages and flavors.
We have talked about doing that one time, like a single
caramel and brown skin. We have talked about doing that, but nobody ever wants to participate. And I'm sick of that too.
What's funny about what you were about to say? I was talking to someone, and this is real life. I was talking to someone, and they were like, the worst people to date are therapists and counselors.
Oh, I wasn't even talking about him.
Oh,
you was talking about him. I didn't even think about that man. That man has fell right to my. But he was a therapist, and he was crazy. I think he was a catfish. I think he probably had a family. I think he probably had a family. Honestly, funny thing is, he started his own podcast now.
Look, if you're watching, you have a family. I know you
started his own podcast.
Oh my god!
But yeah.
Saying that someone was very supportive.
Yeah, he was very supportive, and I was like about to fall right on in love with that man because he was so supportive. And now, like when
I was trying to tell someone the other day, see, look, Taylor had a swift with a therapist. She had to block a therapist. You would think
he needed therapy. Oh no. The therapist needed therapy.
The whole word.
We got to do better with communicating these things to each other so that we can
that's what I was saying.
We can avoid heartache.
You got to talk, because if you don't talk, we won't know. These are red flags. Men that say, "What did you cook for dinner?" Now, what did you eat for dinner is different than what did you cook for dinner. Why are you thinking that I cooked?
Yeah.
Why didn't I order out?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I think that we should communicate with each other and really kind of open up the floor so that we know like what's going on out here.
So like what are some red flags?
Yeah. I mean, apparently we've named all the toxic masculinity things here. I'm sorry, men, if you felt like this was something where we were just like,
well, they weren't chiming in. So there's that. The little toxic masculinity right there. You were so masculine that you couldn't chime in. And say how you felt.
Charles and Andre were the only men that spoke tonight.
And this is not real. It's too many of y'all.
I bet you there's more men watching than women. Actually,
Anita said years ago there was this psychiatrist that killed his wife in Norfolk, Virginia, and he was a doctor for mental ill people.
Someone just messaged me and said they're on the podcast and they're a man. Well, you have not.
Why are you not in the comments?
You have not told us how you feel, but I wanted to just make a note that statistics have shown that our podcast, which is rather popular for people to listen to on the way to work, so you don't always have to look at these beautiful faces. You can listen to us on all platforms. You're talking Spotify, you're talking Apple Podcasts, you name it, we're there. We're even on Ebony Jet Podcast. What about that? But what I was going to say is statistics show that more men watch us than women and listen to us than women. And we asked someone about this, like,
but I think it's because of these topics. When we have these topics, they chime in.
And they said they're trying to learn. The one person told me they're trying to learn. They like to hear what we say. So, I mean, why do you think more men listen to us than women? Women aren't, apparently, they don't feel like they got nothing to learn.
I don't know, because I'm not sure if they're just going back to the group chat and talking slam trash about us.
Oh, the men?
Yeah, they have group chats, y'all, just like we do.
Well, I don't care. But anyways, so I guess that's it. I'm hungry.
Well, this was a great show, guys.
I'm hungry. I did not cook tonight. So my food was ordered and it's sitting over there.
And nobody better ask you tonight what you cook, because then you're going to have it. You're going to get it.
You are in my phone. You better not ask me what I cook.
Durante is here, y'all. Durante sent me an audio message today before the show. He's like, I can't tune in, but here
I've heard so much about you. I'm so happy to meet you. To eat, like they say on at work, e-meet. I'm so happy to e-meet you. Those are my Alexis shoulders. Hey guys.
I told him that next time we do a topic like this, he said he would have loved to have been in the conversation. I think he would have been.
What they always say, Durante. Let me tell you, people be lying. They, as my sister said, people be people.
People be people. So I got that from a Jonathan McReynolds song. It's called People, I think. People. Jonathan McReynolds is just saying that people just be hurting people. He's a gospel artist, and so he's like, people be people. Some people may not know. So people, he just be like, people be people and it's just so good to me. So I just try to remember that when people just be people and
that's the truth. It's really been resonating in my soul, and they, you just got to remember that some people may not invest as much as you do. You're setting expectations. Sometimes you can become very disappointed.
Yes.
So I think we have really just cracked open this case and nailed it, guys. I appreciate the what's funny? Usually I'm over there.
Really? Right. We switched it up.
I'm looking like, why does this look so different?
Okay. He doesn't get the question. You're gonna have to go back and watch it. He need to go back and watch it.
Oh, he said he doesn't think masculinity is toxic. Oh, but no, he might get it. He made me feel that masculinity isn't toxic. Why can't he feel that way?
He's not. He didn't understand it because what we're saying is that this is. Let me just say this real quick, and then we go shut the show down. We are saying that we're not saying masculinity is toxic. We're saying that toxic masculinity is toxic.
Well, yes,
saying that there's Durante said unhealthy masculinity.
Okay, yes, unhealthy masculinity.
That's what Durante
I agree with that. Yeah, yes. Because I was going to say some levels of masculinity is toxic.
Yes,
especially today. Today's a world where we have pronouns, and we're in a different world, y'all. We are. You look on your Zoom, it says she, her. You know what I mean?
Mine say she, her too, girl, because I want to make sure they got it. I am a she and a her. So there's.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're in a different world. Like, men gotta wake up. It doesn't really matter what you think. Your workplace is telling you that you have to choose your pronoun now in your signature. So,
really?
I mean. In my place of employment, yes, they say that they would prefer you to put your pronoun in your signature.
Mm-hmm. Listen, we are on the show starts at 7. Hold on, you got anything to say?
No,
I'm gonna close out,
please, because I'm hungry.
Okay, so let me say this first, y'all. These are just my salutations. The show starts at 7. Usually we start diving deep around 7:20,
7:30.
Okay, 7. We said 7:20. They probably won't be here till 7:30. Look at them; they're just now rolling on in. It's 8:30 almost, and feel free to but you can go back and watch it, and you can comment while you watch it.
Yeah, you can still comment.
We go back and we watch the shows. So if you want, you can go back Tone 360 and watch. And Durante, you can go back and watch the show and comment. People
get that mixed up. I don't know why, but
yes, I have a friend who always says. I have a friend always says, "I missed the show," and I'm like, "Girl, the show is there.
It's on YouTube.
It's for you, boo. It's anytime you want to do.
On YouTube, it's on Facebook. But last show, which was about the entrepreneur episode,
that was
the entrepreneur episode was the first episode. I had people go back and comment on the entrepreneur episode, and so that means that people were getting the fact that you can then watch it.
It just takes a minute to train people.
Yeah, and new episodes are being loaded. So it's taking our time, but you may not get this one on your Apple Podcast because your girl got a lot going on, but I'm gonna get them all up there. So, but we're slowly getting them up there. But anyways, close us out because I'm hungry.
Okay, so we want to say, thank you for joining us today or tonight rather, with this topic. We like to test out different topics, and tonight we chose to test this one out. It looks like it went over well with you guys. So if that's something y'all are interested in, is having more controversial topics, I'm here for it. I want all the smoke, and I'm ready to give y'all the smoke. And so with that said, if you liked, yes.
Next week, make sure you mention next week's topic.
Okay. Realize that you guys are here with us still. Sorry about that. So we want you guys to share with your friends. If this is a conversation that you guys want to have in the group chat, send them audio, send the audio, send the visual, whatever. Have the conversation. Let us know what you think. DM us. If we can talk more about this offline, like they say in corporate America. And we hope that you guys follow us on all the fruits and veggies. And by that, I mean Apple, Spotify, Ebony, etc. And we also hope that you subscribe on YouTube. Turn on the link if you're following us on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and like the page. And you can drop some things in there too if you like. Now, next week, we're going to switch it up again. We told y'all that we love Lauryn Hill. Now, next week, we're going to go back to that series, and we'll have a Lauryn Hill topic again. We have some people coming on who just love her as much as we do, and it's going to be a good conversation again.
They're from a Lauryn Hill podcast.
They are from a Lauryn Hill podcast. Like, we were able to lure them in.
They asked to be on.
They asked us to be on. They asked to be on, which is dope. And we appreciate that as well. But we really appreciate you guys for hanging in there with us. This is going on very, very long time, and you're still here.
For some reason or another.
I don't know what it is, but today was good. So we hope that we were able to tackle some tough topics today, have some things that you didn't know you were thinking, and able to process those and maybe change your perspective or not. And that's literally what we're here for. It's or not, guys. So we hope that we were able. Yes.
Sorry. Okay. Come to us, guys. If you have an idea for a topic, feel free to shoot us a message if you have our personal information or a DM or something. Shoot us a message. Be like, hey, what do you guys think about this? I was thinking about this. We do have topics lined up, but it doesn't mean that we can't put up there. Or if you're dying to come on to talk about something, we are open. This door is open.
We may be open, but if you're trying to come up, we ain't open to talk about everything. We ain't open.
Shut us down. My computer gonna shut us down.
Why?
Because it says it's about to die.
Okay. Thank you for coming here. We hope that we were able to pour into you guys so that you can pour into others, go out into the world and pour into others. We love y'all. Have a blessed week. Kill it. Bye. Bye.